Hey guys, Max again. Another WoW video, Season of Discovery Phase 2. We're going over the Gnomeregan loot that was data mined today. A couple things, disclaimer, this is data mined, so some of this could change, some of the stuff could be missing, could be taked out, unlikely, but just keep that in mind. It's not released yet. And two, this is going to be a little longer, so I'm going to put timestamps down in the description below, and in the video it should pop up. I'll separate it by weapons, cloth, leather, mail, plate, that kind of thing. That way you don't have to sit through the whole video trying to find a specific part that you're interested in. So let's get started. First thing is going to be the weapons. There's quite a few epic items that I saw on this list. First is the staff, defibrillating staff. It's increased healing and arcane damage, and then the staff also has a res, like kind of like engineering cables. I noticed that it was arcane spell, so I don't. I'm not a caster main, but I don't know if the Black Fathom Depth staff is still better than this for other casters. Put in the comments down below if you think that it is or not. I'm curious to know about that. Therma plugs rocket cleaver. This looks like a one-hander, 2.7, or it's a two-hander. Okay, it's a little slow for two-hander, I guess. But stat stick, two-handed axe. Hydro staff, just a meme staff for underwater breathing and frost resist. If you're fighting a frost resist mage, I don't know, dude. Gizmotron, one-handed sword, stat stick, 3.2, or excuse me, two-handed sword, 3.2 attack speed. Might be better than that axe, maybe. I don't know. And then supercharged head chopper. This is two-handed as well. It's got a proc nature damage 80 to 100. It's got int on it, so it might be interesting for shamans. Staff of Evil Genius. It's got a 1% chance to hit for casters, and then plus 20 for damage and healing. Gyromatic Macro Adjuster, another stat stick pole arm, probably really good for hunters. Automatic Crowd Pummeler. This one was really cool. It was leaked a few weeks ago. Rip Warriors. You can't even use it. So it's Paladin, Shaman, Druid. But this makes it to where you don't have to farm the Pummeler over and over again like you had to do in Classic. So it's just a one-time use, and then or you can use them anytime you want. A one-time drop, and then you're good to go. Main hand weapons. I got a few epics here. Electrocutioner's Needle, one-handed sword, chance to proc a nature hit. There's a fist weapon, also a chance to discharge an arcane energy hit for 40, reducing all resistances by 45, and increasing all spell damage taken by 6%. This might be interesting for enhancement shamans. I don't know if there's some gimmick where rogues or warriors could use this if you're in a heavy caster raid or something like that. I don't know if it's just for yourself, or it says all resistances and increasing all spell damage taken on the target. So it looks like you could, help your heavy caster raid with this if you're the only melee, maybe. Something to think about. Glimmering Gizmo Blade. It's a dagger, caster dagger, stat stick. A Gearmender's Grace. This is a healing main hand mace. One-handers. Toxic Revenge is a dagger. Deals 30 nature damage over a period of time. Or every 5 seconds to an enemy in an 8-yard radius around the caster for 15 seconds. Looks like an AoE nature proc. That's pretty interesting. Ultrasonic Viral Blade punctures target's armor, lowering it by 160. I'm wondering if this stacks with Sunder armor or other forms like that. There used to be a weapon, I think it was an Ultimate or something like that, back in a original Classic that would actually stack with Sunder. So curious to see if that does. Or maybe it was in Lower Blackrock Spire. I think that's where it was. Blast Hammer, it's a stat stick for tanks, one hand, plus 4 defense. I'm not sold on the defense for Sod yet, unless they're coming out with something new this raid. It's kind of whatever. Another one-handed mace for attack power, just another stat stick. Offhands, we got a book, increases healing done. Another book that increases damage done for casters. Very low on the stats on that one. It's kind of weird. I think the offhand off the first boss in Black Fathom Depths might be better than this. I'd have to go look. Dismantling tool. This is kind of interesting. It's an offhand axe that disarms the target for 5 seconds. A chance to, anyways. Wonder if that's got some PvP utility to it. Thermoplugs custom blaster, epic gun, 26 attack range power. Just another option for hunters if you didn't get the bow from Black Fathom Depths. Some other stat stick guns and bows. These are the wands. There is an arcane damage and a fire damage wand, it looks like. One is just a stat stick for +9, and the other one's plus int. Amulets. I guess they're making all the amulets epic this time. Just stat sticks for tank, plus 1% dodge, 4% defense. The caster one's pretty neat. It's got 1%, or excuse me, melee is 16 attack power and 1% chance to crit. The caster one's just a stat stick with mana per 5, and the healing one the same thing. The cloaks, stat sticks again. The strength cloak has 1% chance to hit with spells and melee. This is going to be really contested, I think. A 1% chance to hit cloak, that's going to be money. It's going to be on everybody's soft reserve, I think. Hopefully it looks cool. There's a parachute cloak. That's kind of fun in case you're not an engineer. Cloak of Invention, healing cloak with some mana per 5. And then these look like some BOE drops of some kind, or at least this one does. So some frost resist. So that's cloaks. Rings, some epic rings. They're all predominantly stat sticks with some arcane and nature resist, things like that. Nothing too exciting with them other than they're just more stats. Same with the blues. In fact, these two rings look exactly the same as stats. They're just different names. The rings are unique equips, so you can't double up on them, like the deep band rings from Black Fathom Depths. I was able to get 2 of those on one of my characters. It was pretty neat. Trinkets, 6% int, fire resistance, and then randomly channels 1 to 150 health into 1 to 150 mana every 1 second for 10 seconds. 30-minute cooldown. Seems a little long. It's kind of like a clutch. Oh my god, I'm out of health or mana. Need to convert it kind of thing. This one increases attack speed. Says it might be able to go further. 30-minute cooldown again. Got some attack power on it. This one is target an ally. Or make target ally immune to snare and immobilizing effects. Might be some interesting PvP Warsong Gulch flag kind of running thing there for some support. Tank 1 increases your chance to dodge by 1%. Increases your armor by 1,000, but your movement speed is reduced by 60%. So if there's any really fast, hard-hitting melee mobs in the new raid, this might be interesting for that, but it's a 30-minute cooldown. I think it's the same cooldown as Shield Wall. So use that at the right time, hopefully. And then I mentioned in another video, there's some fun little trinkets. Turn yourself into a trog, domesticated attack chicken. I don't know if we're going to be getting the battle chicken in the next phase for engineering, and if we do, if they're going to change it in some way. I think they did that in original classic. Moving on to cloth armor, I did look at this below. There's some pieces that are just missing, or there's only one or the other for melee or casters. If you notice here, it says helm, none from raid. Either it's just missing from the data mine, or there's just no helm in the raid. There are some really good items in Scarlet Monastery that might fill this role. For example, the plate helm. I think it had 1% crit. There's no plate helm in this raid listed yet, so maybe that's what they were kind of thinking. I think the Cathedral has a helmet at the end as well for cloth. So shoulders, there's just one pair so far. It's just damage and healing plus 12, stat stick. It's got some armor to it too, so very interesting if that's for warlock tanks or whatnot. I did another video going over all of the tier sets. I'll put that in the description below, but I will briefly stop, and if you want to freeze the video and take a look at them. Stacked stick cloth armor here with more armor on it. Same thing down here, but it's just a spirit, probably for a healer in case you're not having good luck with the drops. Another stat stick chest. Wrist, there's a mana per 5, plus 9 for the casters, and then this one is the healing one, stat stick blue. Gloves, again, 11 armor. I think they might be trying to lean towards giving the warlock tanks a little more help. So that's pretty interesting. And then another one, int and spirit, just another option in case you're unlucky getting this one. Belts, there is plus hit for spells. This is very interesting. I think this is going to be a very highly contested item. This is probably going to be on everybody's soft reserve. Excuse me. And then this belt over here is just for healing. It's a really nice belt. These are the legs for the casters, or at least one of them, the hyperconductive robe walkers and skirts. I went over that in the other video. This one was very interesting, though, because it had negative stats. So I'm curious to see if this is just a data mine error, or if they did indeed just pick one of the sets and put negative stats on it. So we'll see about that. Boots, there's some set boots here that I went over in the other video. This one's just a stat stick for 10 int, spirit, and nature resist, in case you're unlucky getting the other set boots. I did mention in one of my other videos that they are adding tokens, at least we know of, for the boots. So if you're unlucky with that, you can get the bind on pickup token and then turn it in for a pair of boots. Leather armor, no helm found in the raid. Shoulders, there's a stat stick, 100 armor, 14 agility, 11 stamina, probably for tanks and melee, or druids, I should say, or kitty cat druids. And then the leather one is a plus 11 to healing. It didn't say caster. It didn't say the damage one, so I'm not sure if that's a typo or maybe there's just no shoulder for him, or maybe it's somewhere else in another dungeon. I'm not sure, but so that's that. Chest armors, I just went over these in the other video. Just more set bonuses there. The wrists, there was only one pair of leather wrists. I'm not sure if there's a melee one missing, but these have a plus chance to hit with spells. I also think, along with the caster belt, that this is going to be another hot item. Looks like they picked one item so far anyways. The melee cloak had 1% hit. The caster belt had 1% hit. And then these leather bracers have 1% chance to hit. I wonder if there's going to be, it says melee and ranged attacks. So I wonder if melee are going to try to steal, like maybe the warriors or paladins might want to try to steal these. I know the warriors wouldn't have much use for the 9, but the 1% chance to hit, I mean, it's kind of big. So I'm curious to see how that plays out. Gloves, improves your chance to hit with spells and with melee and ranged attacks by 1%, 30 attack power when fighting mechanical units. This is interesting because this is going to be fighting with the... Oh, never mind. We're not doing gloves this one. It's chest, legs, and boots. I had the Black Fathom depths mixed up. So yeah, this is going to be pretty awesome as well. Again, wondering if the warriors are going to try to steal this from the leather wearers because it's got strength and agility and 1% chance to hit. And 30 attack power when finding mechanical units, which I'm sure Gnomeregan's going to have a lot of. So these might be a hot item as well. Skullduggery waistband, chance to crit 10% or 10 attack power. Leather belt, a little low on the stats, but high on the armor. Cord of the Deep, this is nature spells. Leather belt, again, probably just for the boomies. Legs, these legs I went over in the other video. Then there's some more stat sticks, negative 10 fire resist on this one. I'm not sure if that's a typo or keep away from fire. I guess not. That's awesome. Wonder what they look like. Petro spill play. Oh man, I hope they add some graphic where it's like oil drooling down your leg pants or something. That'd be really cool. Nimble Trip Runner Dunagrees. This is just a high agility stat item. Curious if hunters are going to fight for this. I'll have to see when we get down below. And then the boots, the raid sets for the boots, and then just another stat stick in case you're unlucky for the leather boots. Mail, I guess we're seeing a theme here. No helmet in the raid for mail as well. Shoulders, there's a 1% chance to crit and for spells and melee, and then increases nature damage by 11. Probably more for shamans and yeah, I guess it'd just be for shamans. And then the other shoulders is just attack power, probably for the hunters. Chest piece, we have the 2 raid set pieces again. And then wrists, there's only one wrist that's listed here. It's 22 attack power, so I don't know if hunters and shamans are just sharing the same one, or if there's no caster version for the shamans. Gloves, again, same thing. 1% chance to hit with spells and melee with the gloves, just like we saw before with the other items for the other leather and cloth. These have a 1% chance to hit on their gloves. So really cool. I think that'll be a hot ticket item as well. Shamans and hunters might be fighting over that. Belt. There's one epic belt. This was actually pretty cool. It's just like the gloves. Oh, God. I got them every single time I played Classic and Edge Masters. That's what it is. Axes, 2-handed axes, 2-handed swords, 2-handed maces. This is mail. I have no idea if warriors and paladins are going to go for this as well. It does say mail, so they'll probably share it with them. Really curious to see how that plays out. And then another mail belt, chance to hit with spells, and then damage. So this is probably more for shamans and hunters. Although I guess the hunters probably wouldn't benefit for the 11, but if they need the 1% hit, maybe that'll work. Dark Vision Girdle. Or never mind, here it is. The hunters get their same 1% version, so that's nice, and a nice big stat stick here. Cool, 20 attack power. And then the legs, these legs right here I was really interested in for shamans. 1% chance to hit, just boom and stats all the way down. So that's really interesting. I think that those legs are going to be good. And then there's just some mail plus 6 defense. Oh, whatever. These things are probably going to get disenchanted every time they drop. And then lastly on the mail are just the boots for the raid tier set. And then for plate, again, no helmet. There's one plate shoulder, 12 strength, 11 stamina, and high armor. The two set chest pieces that I went over, and then there's one pair of wrists. This had plus holy damage to it, so I guess Shakadins, maybe the tanks will be interested in that. One pair of gloves, again, improves your chance to get a critical strike with melee and ranged, so those look juicy. And then belt increases your chance to do a critical strike with melee and ranged attacks, and then +5 to damage. Probably leaning more towards paladin on that with the int. And then this one over here, the warriors will probably take with a 9 strength, 5 stamina, and 1% crit, just like this one. Legs, just the tier raid set. Legs, and then and then boots, just the same thing with this, and then just some stat stick boots in case you get unlucky with the other drops. And that's it. Yeah, very interesting to see. Hopefully, I chewed through this pretty quickly and give you a good insight on what's going to be dropping soon. If you like the video, smash the like button down below if you feel like I deserved it. And then if you don't like the video, put in the comments why. I'm very curious to see your feedback on how I can improve these. And if you don't have anything to say, just leave like your favorite emoji because your engagement. And I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.